Hi, I'm Mila Martinico, and welcome to We are here again, me and my hubby Mateo. We are going to be talking about tailoring school to fit your family's needs. Each family is different, and we have been homeschooling. I probably should have counted this before we did this. How long have we been homeschooling?
Well, let's see. Gia's 12, and we really started when she was 5 or 6.
No, because
Right.
she kind of taught herself to read when she was 3.
Well, that was more of
That's true.
self-schooling.
So we've been doing it for a while. We're homeschooling. We can't even count how many years our kids have been going. It's fine.
Yeah.
We started homeschooling in California because the schools were just so bad with violence. Well, just living there, where we live specifically, like, because we're kind of from the hood. We're not from like bougie California. So like just going out in public was scary, nonetheless, like schools.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, where kids were being taken out of shopping carts, and you've always had to have your eye and like hand on the cart and the kid.
yeah,
And so that's basically where we came from. And the kids,
yeah.
it was horrible.
So I started homeschooling the girls because I worked at night at my family's restaurant. So, and then Matt was in school and working 2 jobs. It was a lot. But basically, I started homeschooling at first by ourselves, and I just kind of got into Facebook groups, and I'm so sorry, babe, I can't talk without 2 hands. I got into Facebook groups and did research that way, which is extremely overwhelming. And then when the girls were like in kindergarten and 1st grade, I did a co-op. And so that's where the school kind of gave us all the curriculum, and then I would follow it. And we did that. And then when we moved here to Tennessee, we did more of like unschooling, mostly just math, language arts. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of what we do now because we've done a co-op here too and everything. It just, that kind of schooling.
But all under umbrella schools, you know.
Yeah, like we do it legally.
Yeah, so an umbrella school is basically you submit all your curriculum and grades and everything, and that way you satisfy the state of what they are requiring you of parents, just to make sure you're being a halfway good parent. You know.
Well, damn.
So, it's good because
there is accountability.
There's accountability, and also what we did too, which I recommend to all homeschool parents, is be a part of and pay for lawyers such as HSLDA, which they are incredible. It's an incredible organization that helps homeschool parents and kids just to, you know, if any legal things come up with, let's say someone's coming to your door and like, oh, your kids aren't in school. Well, we're homeschooling and we have this curriculum.
Right.
Well, you know, prove it. And what you do is what we did.
Yeah.
That happened to us. We're like, come on. Like,
we had DCS or whatever it's called here. Come after us for homeschooling our girls.
Yeah.
And so you pay $11 a month. Is it still $11 a month?
I think it went up. I think at the time it was.
Yeah.
And then it went up. At most I think it's $15 a month, and that's for all of our kids, and it's awesome. So they handle it all. Yeah, they handle it all. You just give them the card to call, and then you let HSLDA know, hey, these people came to my door, this is their number, this is their organization, whatever.
And they are your lawyers.
They are your lawyers, and they submit all the paperwork. They send it to them. They say, we took care of them. And we sent them everything that they needed, and you guys you're okay. So great organization for homeschoolers, parents that decide that the best route for their family is homeschooling.
Yeah.
So we've been part of them paying into the organization and
for a few years. Yeah,
a few years, and
it's been great for us.
It's been incredible.
They also have a lot of resources too that you can look into.
Yeah, a lot of homeschool resources that, if you have any questions or you have fears or concerns about something, that their website will help put your mind at ease, and that helps. Their website shows places where you can find curriculums for the grade level of your child or children. So
yeah,
anyways.
And also this is not sponsored by them.
No.
This is just us
This
being
is
real.
we aren't sponsored. We're not getting any money from them. If anything, we're paying them to have their services.
Yeah.
Because we believe
your money,
in it.
though, if you want.
We believe in it, wholeheartedly, and we've been using them. So
question number 1 is, how do you homeschool multiple children with different personalities and different needs?
Well,
how do you parent different children with different personalities and different needs?
It's the same thing,
Yeah.
Well, there's many positives for our family in homeschooling. Yeah. Is that everybody is at a different level, and let's say they were all in first grade. Well, I've noticed over the years that they were let's say Gia, she was at a different level at first grade than when Gemma was at first grade, and then Pearl's at a different level than when Gemma and Gia were in first grade. So, you're not trying to throw multiplication onto a first grader. I mean, that's just doesn't make sense with certain children. And I know Gia, she excelled in a lot of things. She got bored. She got real bored, and her boredom sometimes came out as in why are you cutting your hair off, and when we're not looking, something like that. And it was she would just get bored of doing things, and so her schooling had to be pushed to a higher level, real quickly.
And then I'm choking on air. Sorry about that. And then Gemma struggled with dyslexia.
Yeah.
So when we moved, I actually looked into sending them to public schools, because I'm look, this can't be any worse than freaking California. And they wanted to stick Gemma in a special needs class with autistic kids that were on a whole other level of needs than her, because she was dyslexic. Yeah. So then that again affirmed for me, no, I need to continue homeschooling.
And we know our kids, and Gemma's a very smart person.
Yeah, and she worked through it.
And she worked through it. Yeah. She, we started slowly, working with her, and then we have people that would work with her too. Like when we went to, we were recently at it's like a co-op kind of, not really.
So we did a co-op again.
Yeah.
And then just everything happening with the restaurant, and then my pregnancy, it was too much to, on our only days off, to wake up and the only family time that we had together for them to go to a co-op.
Well, Gemma started reading on her own eventually, because we were encouraging her. And now she's reading books. She's reading the same books Gia is. Yeah. And she's like, I really love this book.
But we didn't put any pressure on her.
No, and that's the thing too. I mean, there was some pressure, okay, you need to know how to read, because everybody needs to learn how to read, because it helps you in life. There's some people in life, I know they don't know how to read, or they can't, because their dyslexia is a severe case, and they just see words in a weird way. But we're look, it will definitely, you need to learn how, because it'll help you, know.
And she's caught up. She's fine, because we did all the grade level testings, and the girls are fine where they're at their grade levels. Yeah. I think that, and this might be a little controversial for some people, but...
What are you going to say?
Well, I'm going to say it anyways, because it's me.
Okay.
But when we moved out here, there were so many things that we were taught in school, and so many things that I'm researching as an adult that are not, the way that they were taught to us was not real life. Yeah. The other day I stumbled upon the prohibition, right? And I'm okay, cool. So they were trying to monitor alcohol, whatever. It was for the good of humanity. That's what I was taught, right? Even though like I had, probably had...
Talking about in the 20s?
Yeah. Like that's what they always made it seem like that there were these like mobsters who were like trying to run all this alcohol, make money and like whatever. But the reality is that they were using alcohol in energy and it wasn't regulated. Is that anything that we were taught?
In energy?
Yes. Like they were using alcohol to power cars, to power machinery. And people were being bootleggers because they were making their own moonshine to power things and nobody was making money off of that. Did you know that?
No.
Exactly. But guess who does know that? My homeschool children. That's who.
I wasn't homeschooled.
Yeah, neither was. Well, I mean, I was kind of,
so
but that's because I was bullied.
This is all new to me. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, what we're taught a lot of times is not the truth. Because also, this might get me flack too, but like, one of the things that really made me homeschool was going back and looking at what money funds education and what money pays for what our children learn. Okay. And that once you get into curriculums and you're looking at things and you're like, okay, well, what organization is behind this curriculum? What's funding this in public schools and what's the agenda?
Yeah, agendas. And what I noticed,
for our kids.
Well, what I saw was it was gearing a lot of kids to move on to straight to college, which is great for some kids. But then what about the blue collar work? Blue collar workers, the trades,
yeah.
Let's just say massage therapists, chiropractors, anybody that just a certificate, 1 to 2 years of school certificate to start making.
I think chiropractor is real school though.
It is real school. It's a lot of school.
Yeah.
But I look at it as, okay, this is something a little bit different. But blue collar workers as in, tradesmen and tradeswomen. And then what's not taught in public schools is, hey, these guys, once they're journeyman level or 4 years of worked and paid apprenticeship, starting at 15 to 18 an hour for the basic trades, moving on up every 6 months. They didn't teach that, hey, there's all these trades over here, especially high school. They didn't bring this up at all. My high school took out wood shop in order to give to a grant program, and took out metal shop and took out auto shop. It was not the best high school, and that was all the high schools during 2001 through 5. Well, anyways, they did not tell us about all these trades that you can make a lot of money. So you start out at that 15 to 18 an hour, and it might be more now. And at the end of your 4 years, and once you take that test, you become a journeyman after you have your hours of working. All of a sudden, you're making 40 to 100 an hour. It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much, that was a missing aspect of all these people that were lost and were sent on to college, and now they went to college, and now they're like, I can't get a job, or I can't get a job in what I wanted. So,
and they're essentially paying a mortgage and
they're paying their mortgage and $120,000 in debt with student loans until it's paid off to the government, or these government programs. So we decided, hey, we're gonna be different. We want to gear our kids towards being working, productive people of society that are not lost and stuck in this vicious cycle of always owing money to somebody. And that's the way.
Yeah, and if this is we're not ragging on people who use public school or even send their kids to private school.
Because I understand. Yeah. We gotta work.
Yeah. We don't have the money to send our kids to private school
we
either.
Have been given the opportunity, by the grace of God, to be able to do this with our
Yeah.
kids. And, you know, that's why the restaurant is closed Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's
For our kids.
It's for our kids.
Yeah.
You know, and to calm our hearts on the way we feel about that whole situation. So for our kids,
that's what works.
That's what works for us,
Yeah.
and that's what we're doing. But yeah, I understand public school sometimes. I mean, you got to do it. You know,
Yeah.
you got. I mean, I was raised. I went to public school, so I see both sides of what we're doing and what a lot of parents are doing versus what public school parents are doing, and a lot of parents are doing there too. So you know, we're praying for you. We're praying for your kids.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
you know, that just God guides them through their path of life, and that they find their calling and what they're supposed to be doing, and don't get strayed and distracted from the enemy.
Yeah, I love that.
So.
I think that's another reason why we did that too. The second question, which we kind of did touch about, is what's something you wish you had known before you started homeschooling?
It's actually harder than it is. It takes a lot of parents' time and energy.
I pick the curriculum,
right,
and we go. But like I picked the bare minimum, so like we're in like unschooling and homeschooling together. We're like kind of in that weird middle place where a lot of the things that our kids learn is from life, because they're part of the restaurant. They're part of everything that we do. They work at the restaurant. You know, they're around the public. They're around people.
Yeah, which
so I agree with you. It is hard. It's difficult because, let's be honest, we don't get a break from our kids. Like people,
and they don't get a break from us.
They don't get a break from us.
So and kids need a break from their parents every once in a while.
Yeah.
So it's good to have the co-ops and have opportunities where kids can go out and hang out with other friends.
Socialization.
Real socialization. And that's why I like when they work around the restaurant, is they're able to socialize with people and learn to.
They're not weird, awkward homeschoolers at all.
They're learning to not be those people that are weird, awkward homeschoolers that just don't know how to communicate with people. So this is really what I like, is this is preparing them for their future and whatever they decide they want to do.
Yeah.
Is they're learning to talk with people, customers, interact with them, and it helps build their character and personality and who they are. So. Yeah,
I agree with that. So in closing, I hope you don't feel discouraged about homeschooling if you're thinking about homeschooling, or if you are homeschooling. Most of all, I would encourage you to pray with your kids, to pray that God shows you what He has in store for your children, so that you can help whatever schooling they need become a reality. The beauty about homeschooling is tailoring schooling to your children's needs. And they're not under, one regulation. They're not in school being forced to sit down, being forced to conform and, become little worker bees. So that's what's beautiful about homeschooling. And, Matt and I are always there too. Like when you see us at the restaurant, if you need advice, if you need prayer, whatever, and it's not super busy, so come near our break. But we'd love to talk to you about it too, and just, I know that, and also we have a bunch of friends who are teachers, and, who are literally the hands and feet in the public school of Jesus.
Yeah.
And so there is never any judgment with us. But most of all,
they're saints, by the way.
Dude,
they're all saints. They deal with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Way more than homeschool parents.
Yeah. So, just saying in all of that, really pray and intercede for your family and their schooling to find out what really works for you, works for your family. This works for us.
Yeah.
And if you have more questions, feel free, send us your questions about homeschooling, about anything in your life. We'll be happy to answer.
And also, if we don't answer right away, the HSLDA website, they have FAQs, frequently asked questions.
Yeah.
You can look on there because they can help direct you in case we're too busy with producing
so I can
food.
make a podcast.
Or that too.
Yeah,
but,
about it. But there's always resources. We can lead you towards resources.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening and taking time to be here with us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Thank you for being here. And don't forget that we love you, and we'll feed you soon. Tanti baci.